Our podcast, like, click, and boom, share, baby, share. What's going on, people? If you don't know who I am, I'm Mike Martin, Mike Martin's podcast, the Mike Martin podcast, like, click, and subscribe podcast, the kind of podcast that talks about everything. And today, we're talking about Triple H. That's right, the big dog. You know, the big dog, Triple H. Anyways, he was here in Indianapolis for an interview for the WrestlePalooza deal they had, the big extravaganza that was like $10,000 a ticket, and it was a terrible time, but...
Our president and I speak to those interns. They'll often ask us, what is the most important decision you'll ever make in your life? It's your spouse, for sure, to me. And chose well, and hopefully she thinks she chose well. But
at one point, the Triple H hit you, and he said he didn't. How'd you find out he was cheating? How'd you catch him?
I found a note, actually. Yeah, I found a note.
Like a written note?
A written note.
What did it say?
From Stephanie, from Date of the Year, like tucked away in his briefcase.
What did the note say?
What was in the note?
Just a note from her saying, how much she loved him, and her saying, how much she loved him, and she was on the airplane or something, writing him a love note, and the date was dated like a year beforehand, so that's how I knew.
it's such an amazing partnership, and she's truly my rock. I had health issues a few years ago, so I have a defibrillator in my chest, which clearly is why I'm not wrestling. Kids and my wife, and it's the most important thing in the world to me. All this other stuff, it's wonderful. I like to think I work incredibly hard at what we do and enjoy it more than anything. I think WWE is the greatest, at least in my opinion, greatest form of entertainment in the world. But all those things, all the money you make, everything else, it's just stuff. At the end of the day, your family, your wife, your kids, whatever that is for you, that's the most important stuff in your life.
I have to push back on that and say the most important thing is the big man upstairs, bro. That's the most important thing. Then the family.
Since we're talking about it, it's one thing for me. I get asked a lot because of our schedule about work-life balance, and I tell people all the time, work-life balance is a lie. It doesn't exist. It's something that you try to achieve, but it's not this thing where it's, if I just did this, it would be perfect and everything would be balanced out. I think that the only thing that you can do to have some semblance of balance is be present.
This is bullshit.
Allow yourself that time to be present in just what you're doing. It's not the quantity of time you spend with your kids or your family or anything else. It's the quality of it. If you're present, if you're just there and you're on your phone the whole time or taking calls or not really paying attention, it's not worth it anyway for them. So, and kids sense that and they feel it, and everybody does.
Whoa, wait a second. You mean to tell me you can't make time for your family and you can't make time for your career? You can't have both of those? Really? It makes me question, what kind of good leadership skills do you really have if you can't do that?
Things wrapped up into one, but everything is a version of that. What is sports? It's entertainment. If you're not playing it, it's entertainment. You're watching it. You're being entertained, right? So, if you're watching combat sport, the truth is not that many people are incredibly adept at the science or the intricacies of what they're doing. They might
What the fuck is...
know everything about football. They don't know everything about basketball. They don't know everything about the fight game, whether it be MMA or boxing, but they know the stories that lead you into it.
Money, the promoters were just like, you're drawing money. They didn't care about the matches. Now caring about the matches is part of it, maybe too much even. For some old school fans, I even think at times it's like, even with, I'll tell people, it's like, it's not about, it's always better to have a good match than a bad match, but having nothing but good matches is great, and it's a great show, but that's not the answer. The answer is personalities that are larger than life. And just like in fights, it's like having great, exciting fights is good, but you put the two guys who are...
You talk too much. talk too much. Never shut up. I said you talk.
You buy for the excitement. Or Floyd,
See each other because there's a history there. There's a storied rivalry, they will say, right? Yep. Story is the key word. Those markets and those stories do better business, right? A football game is just a football game. If you know who's playing and you're invested, if you go to a high school football game and you know nobody playing, you don't really care. If your kid is playing and you know the story going in, like you're invested in that. It's the same for what we do. So with WWE, it's about the story. We don't necessarily, the matches are absolutely important, delivering on the athleticism and the excitement and the spectacle of what we do. But the truth of the matter is really what hooks people and gets them engaged is the storytelling. And storytelling doesn't have to be complex, doesn't have to be simple either, but the
Hall of Fame, there's no standard, so of course he does. So, I mean, it's like if you.
Well, people, that about sums it up for Mr. Triple H there. I'm going to have to push back on a couple things, though. I'm telling you right now. First of all, thanks to Glenn Beck there. Big old thanks to Glenn Beck. Good job interviewing. Anyways, no, I'm going to have to say there is such thing as pure good people. I wouldn't say there's a gray area. I'd say that there is such thing as good, wholesome people. So that does exist, Triple H. So you don't have to be so negative about that. And basically, this whole thing is about TKO and promoting WWE. And really, people, it's about promoting the entertainment spectacle. The spectacle of it, which is a big entertainment deal for WWE. That's what it is. It's entertainment. It's not Monday Night Football. It's not UFC. It's not hockey. It's not basketball. It's none of that stuff with people actually going one-on-one or collectively against each other for an undetermined outcome. Something that's not predetermined. Okay. Anyways, point being, it's just a big promotional video here. That's all we watch. Just a big. Let's talk up. What is it? ESPN and all that stuff. WWE is never gonna be real, people, but it is gonna be a real big machine that keeps on moving. And guess what? Hate to tell you, Saudis could be the next owners of WWE. Anyways, like, click, subscribe.
Had a birthday. That's right.
You've always been involved with the WWE.
You at 12. Which division did you run?
Receptionist.
Time's passing so fast, yet I'm still standing still. Ain't nothing